Hey gun co-stars, Coach Hernandez here. Today we're going to be going over a Rak lesson. Now, with the Rak lessons, we're going to start filming our Rak lessons, presenting like how we used to do with our health lessons. So we're going to be doing this every week. Today's lesson is going to be about fairness versus equal. Now, a lot of times those words sound very similar. They sound the same, and sometimes you guys think of them the same way. But we're going to talk about the differences in them. You're going to watch a little bit of a video. You're going to have some time to think and discuss with your coaches. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Fairness means when somebody gets exactly what they need. Not more than what they need, but just what they need. Equal means when everybody gets exactly the same amount. And later on in the lesson, you'll see exactly what I mean by those two definitions. Okay? Now let me give you a little example so you can start thinking about it. And your coaches are going to pause the video after I give you the example and give you some time to discuss and ask you some questions. So the example I want to use is there's 4 students. And these 4 students are sick or hurt. And they're going to go to the doctor. And I'm going to give you the example. The first student has a cough. The second student has a broken arm. The third student has a scraped knee. And the last student has a stomach ache. Now, they all go to the doctor. And when they all get to the doctor, they all get the same exact treatment. A Band-Aid. Now, your coach is going to go ahead and pause the video and talk to you about if these students were treated fairly or equally. Okay? So, we'll see you back here in a bit. Alright, so hopefully you had a little bit of time to discuss with your coach about what type of treatment each kid was supposed to get and what type of treatment they did get at the hospital. So now you're going to watch a quick video about the difference of fairness versus equal. Okay, so right now we're going to go ahead and watch the video. At the end of the video, again, you'll discuss with your coach for a couple of questions, and that'll be it. So we will see you guys next time.
So we start with, who's this?
The zookeeper.
That's right, who's this?
The hare.
Hare, and this?
Elephant and the giraffe.
All right.
Giraffe.
Zookeeper,
And there's the zoo.
that's the zoo. Zookeeper loved all of her animals, but she was especially fond of hare, giraffe, and elephant. That's right. She gave hare a handful of food. She gave giraffe a wheelbarrow full. Oh yeah, she fed them stuff every day. So she gave hare a handful of food. She gave giraffe a wheelbarrow full. And she gave elephant an entire truckload. Is that a lot? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Uh-huh.
They all were healthy and happy because each day they had just enough. One day, they were lounging under the giant shade tree, and each was speaking about how much Zookeeper must love them. Hare bragged, "Did you know Zookeeper gives me a handful of feed every day, and it's exactly enough? She must really love me." Do you think Zookeeper loves Hare? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Giraffe laughed. "Well, she must really love me because I get a whole wheelbarrow of food. What do you think of that?" Yeah. Oh, this is the same one. This is the same book. Do you see the wheelbarrow of food? Do you see the owl?
Yeah.
So what do you think? How do you think Hare's gonna feel that Giraffe gets a whole wheelbarrow?
Sad.
Ooh, let's see. Elephant trumpeted out an even bigger laugh. "Ha ha ha! Well then," said Elephant, "I must be the most loved of all because I get an entire truckload." Where's the truck? Do you see the truck? That's right. "Not fair!" shouted Hare. "Why should you two get so much more than I?" Does Hare seem happy?
Because he is smaller.
He is small.
And that's why he doesn't eat as much.
He doesn't, but he's not happy because he's not getting the same amount.
Yeah.
"Not fair at all," said Giraffe to Hare. "Zookeeper must love Elephant more than us." What do you think? Does Zookeeper love Elephant and Giraffe more because she gives them more food?
No.
No? Let's see. Giraffe, Hare, and Elephant looked at each other in silence. Are they happy?
No.
No. "But I know how to make things fair," said Giraffe. When Zookeeper gives us our food, we'll pile it all together and we'll split it evenly. Then things will be fair. Is that fair? Yeah? What do you think?
No, because then they don't have this, because then they're still hungry.
Ooh, but they get the same amount. Won't that be fair?
Yeah.
And that's just what they did. The next day, they piled their food together and they split it evenly. Each animal got the exact same amount. And after eating about a handful of food, Hare was stuffed, but he still had a large mound of food left over.
See?
After eating a wheelbarrow of food, Giraffe was stuffed, but she still had a large pile of food. But Elephant ate up all his food, and he was still hungry. And he gazed at the piles of food that Hare and Giraffe still had, and he wanted to ask her some, but he thought, well, fair is fair. And he walked around his pen, and his stomach was growling. Do you ever get hungry?
Yeah, my
There's-
stomach growls. At night,
Growls?
my stomach growls.
Growls?
Mine too.
After several days, Hare became fat from eating so much. His leftover food towered over him and took up his entire living space. Hare thought, I might get buried alive soon. And Giraffe was also getting fat, and she kept tripping over piles of leftover food. But Elephant was the most miserable of all. He was very skinny and pale, and he was always hungry and grumpy. And even though everyone said, well, fair is fair, none of them was healthy or happy. Zookeeper saw how the food towered over Hare and how Giraffe's knees were bruised and how Elephant had become so skinny and grumpy. So she called a meeting under the giant shade tree. What's going on? The Zookeeper asked. Giraffe explained how they all wanted to get the same amount of food so that everything would be fair. We don't want anyone to be loved more than anyone else. Is it fair for Elephant to be hungry while you two are buried in food? Asked Zookeeper. Is that fair?
No. Didn't move.
Yeah. The three animals thought about this. Hare said, no, that doesn't seem very fair. Elephant and Giraffe agreed that it wasn't very fair at all. Zookeeper went on. Fairness isn't when everyone gets the exact same. Fairness is when everyone gets what they need. And she gave a great big hug to Elephant, Giraffe, and Hare.
That's the hell.
That's the Hare. And she gave each one just enough food. And they didn't care how much it was or how much the others received because each one knew that they were loved. See that? And that is the end. What do you guys think? Is that a better solution?